McNair should 1000% pick up the phone and call over to Indiana, as the Pacers are reportedly looking to move Myles Turner in the near future due to his contract expiring at the end of next season. Now guys, I'm back again today with some crazy news as another big man has reportedly entered our radar, and this time he's not from the Portland Trail Blazers, as the Pacers are reportedly looking to move Turner sometime in the near future due to his expiring contract, and this opens up so many opportunities for McNair, as I believe that Myles Turner is a perfect fit for our Sacramento Kings roster, and McNair should 100% pursue this deal with the Pacers, as Myles Turner is just someone that the Kings franchise have been searching for the past few seasons. But before we get into the rest of the video, welcome back to Kings Digest, the channel showcasing all of the upcoming Sacramento Kings news. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Now, let's head over into today's report that's basically just going over the Kings' position at this point in the offseason and the Pacers' situation with Myles Turner, as it states that the Sacramento Kings have had a major offseason with the addition of DeMar DeRozan to help the franchise push toward becoming playoff mainstays in the Western Conference. But while the trio of De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, and DeRozan will scare teams in the West, not many will consider them realistic championship contenders until they add a defense-oriented starter to the lineup. And as it further states, to add defense to a Kings lineup full of offense, many has suggested the franchise try to acquire center Myles Turner from the Indiana Pacers. Turner has withstood years of trade talks and had a great season with the Pacers last season, but with his contract expiring at the end of the year, some people think there could be a shape for a trade sending him to Sacramento. And guys, this would be ideal for the Kings, as we would bring in one of the league's most elite rim protectors and someone who won't hinder our floor spacing at all, as he is a reliable, consistent three-point shooter, and he would just come in and just be the perfect fit for our starting rotation, as we can just go over and check out some of his stats from last year, as he played 77 games for the Pacers and put up 17 a game, 7 boards, 2 blocks a game, and shot 52% from the field and 36% from 3, which is just unreal, and is just one of the reasons why I believe McNair should pursue this deal with the Pacers instead of, DeAndre Ayton or Robert Williams from the Blazers, as without a doubt, Robert Williams is a phenomenal defensive player. He isn't all that on offensive side, and he would just, further our issues with floor spacing, as he just cannot space the floor at all, and mainly his game is just in the post. And DeAndre Ayton, while he got that mid-range game in his bag, he can't shoot the three, as he only attempted 10 last season and only hit 1. So just bringing in someone like Myles Turner who can knock down that three and is just offers up that elite rim protection, it's just a no-brainer for the Kings, and it's someone that we have been searching to have on our roster for the past few years. And this would 100% bring us into contention in the Western Conference, as we would now have that big man that can help guard against all the elite big men that's in the Western Conference. I mean, you got guys like Victor Wembanyama now. So just having Turner to come in and just offer up that defensive presence in the paint, as Sabonis can't really do that. Even though he's one of the league's most elite big men, he is not all that when it comes to his interior defense. And Sabonis on his offensive game isn't much of a floor spacer, so pairing the front court alongside, Sabonis, you would have Myles Turner to kind of pick up for his lack of floor spacing. And he can actually run some pick and pops and knock down the three when you need it. And this would just make the most sense for the Kings to pursue. As we can just head over into this, you know, trade report that basically just goes over the deal in itself, as the Kings would receive Myles Turner and the Pacers receive Kevin Huerter, Colby Jones, 2027 first round pick, and the 2029 second round pick. And as this further states, this deal helps the Kings add a piece to help them compete alongside the elite big men in the West, while the Pacers add a valuable first round pick along with a shooter and a 3-and-D wing who has lots of potential upside. And honestly, looking at this, I believe this makes sense from both perspectives, as the Pacers are just looking to move on from Turner as his contract's expiring and he's getting a bit older now, and he turned out to not be the perfect pairing with, Tyrese Halliburton. So they're going to be looking, in a different direction to try to build a contending team in the future around Tyrese Halliburton and a few of the younger players that got on the roster, like, Benedict Mathurin and so on. But basically, this would just make the most sense, as the Pacers would get that valuable 2027 first round pick and a solid three-point shooter in Huerter and a 3-and-D wing with a lot of potential upside, and we would just get one of the league's best interior defenders who can space the floor and knock down the three whenever we need him to. And while this is just a no-brainer for the Kings to pursue, it does pose some questions with our starting rotation, as it would be a bit awkward. As let's just head over into this report that basically just goes over Turner's fit into this team, as it states that this would be an awkward fit to work into the team, with Sabonis likely moving back to power forward to create the double big lineup that teams like the Nuggets and Timberwolves already have prepared. And with the Lakers supposedly trying to head in the same direction, the Kings should definitely pounce on acquiring a 3-and-D rim protector like Turner. And honestly, running that double big lineup, especially in this Western Conference, going up against the Wolves and the Nuggets, and if the Lakers supposedly try to move in this direction as well, we would definitely just need that traditional center in Myles Turner to protect the paint. And with Sabonis moving to the 4, I know it is a bit iffy, as opposed to some concerns on if Sabonis is going to be able to guard, those more agile and more mobile power forwards in this league, and how he would do switching onto the perimeter. And basically just, it is a bit iffy, but I do think that this would work out for the Kings eventually, as Myles Turner, if you're looking at it from the defensive side, Myles Turner can lock down the paint with the best of them, and so it just takes away a lot of pressure in the paint on our defensive side, and just helps us focus more so on our perimeter defense, as we can just rely on Turner more to protect the paint and help alter shots if the offense does decide to attack the paint. And it just leaves us more room to basically focus more so on the perimeter and just leave it to Myles Turner to do what he does on defense and just alter shots and just protect the paint, like, that's what he gets paid to do. And so I think the Kings will be fine from that standpoint, even though it's going to be a little bit awkward. But just heading over into the last report today is just grading the overall trade for the Kings, as this report grades this trade at a B, as it states that the Kings walk away as the winners in a deal like this, even with the obvious questions around a Turner-Sabonis frontcourt for a contending team. but the dynamic between the two players won't be the same on the Kings as it was on the Pacers back when they were playing together, as they are pieces within a far more competent offense now. And as it further states, this could also help the Kings re-energize Keegan Murray by moving him to a six-man role if Malik Monk is asked to step up and be Fox's backcourt partner. So honestly, I do think that would be an interesting move, as Keegan Murray could be extremely valuable for us coming off the bench, as he is just a reliable scorer and a phenomenal defender as well for his age, and coming off the bench and being that spark plug for us could be a perfect role for Keegan Murray. And as this report further states, adding Turner would hurt the pace with which the Kings play, but adds such a layer of defensive pressure with his pure shot blocking ability that the Kings haven't had with Sabonis. And guarding the perimeter is a challenge for the franchise, but it becomes an easier task with a player like Turner hunting blocks around the rim, as it takes off more of the focus on trying to protect the paint for the Kings, as we can rely on Turner and just focus more so on guarding the perimeter, as we have struggled with that in the past. But if we focus more on it and work on it more throughout the season, we could be more, be more of a better defensive team, and will just help us be championship contenders in the West next season, as it adds a defensive element they haven't had in years for a decent price, with Turner also coming into the starting lineup as one of the best shooters. Now, honestly, I would rate this a little bit higher. They got it rated as a B, but personally, I would rate this at a B plus at least. I feel like this is just a no-brainer for the Kings, and it would be the perfect move, as we would find the piece that we so desperately needed to help us contend further in the West and go up against all the elite talent in this Western Conference. But basically, guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you would grade this trade yourself, and let me know the pros and cons that you think would come about this trade. But that's all for today, guys. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.